everyone, it's me, Nita, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be testing out some AJ blanks. AJ Blanks just came out with some sublimation blanks for kids. I'm going to be testing out her blanks today and seeing how well they sublimate. I'm also going to be testing out Hiipoo, not sure if I'm saying that right, but I'm going to be testing out their sublimation paper today. So I already printed out my designs, and I'll make sure and insert that footage here in just a minute on how I edited my designs on Photoshop and how I printed them out. So in today's video, I'm just going to be showing you guys how I sublimate onto t-shirts. Now this is not going to be the best tutorial because I am extremely new to sublimation. It's not my expertise. I am going to leave a video down below of the coffee powered home. Liz did an amazing video on how to sublimate onto AJ blanks, and I loved her editing and how she described everything in her video step by step. She did a really good job. So I'm going to leave her video linked down below for you guys to go check it out. But I'm just going to show you guys how I do it. So let's go ahead and let's open up this AJ blanks package. I've been holding out. I've had this package maybe for like a week now. I just have been so busy with Etsy orders. I haven't had time to do anything else besides Etsy orders. So I have some time tonight to test out these blanks. So I ordered 2 different types of blanks. So currently, as of right now, I believe she's only offering this basic crew neck shirts and then her ruffle shirts. So she doesn't have puff sleeves yet, I believe. I think she wanted to wait and see how her AJ blanks, sublimation blanks did before she added them. I could be wrong. And I don't think she has onesies either. So I do believe she might be adding those. I'm not sure. But I just ordered what she had, and go ahead and open up the packages. So when you order, they come pre-wrapped and labeled with whatever size you ordered, which is really nice. So whenever you're doing t-shirt orders, you can always reuse these bags to be able to ship them in. So let's go ahead and open up the girl shirts first. Here is an example of the girl shirts. They do have the puff sleeve, and then they have a ruffle bottom. Now I don't think she has just the basic puff sleeve by itself. What I mean by basic puff sleeve, here's an example of an embroidered shirt. This is one of her cotton blanks that you can use for embroidery. This is just a basic puff sleeve shirt. It has no ruffles on it. So for her sublimation blanks, she has the puff sleeves with the ruffles on the bottom for the girls. Super cute. This is my first time actually purchasing the ruffle bottom shirts. So I'm excited to add these to my shop. I think they would look really cute with a pair of bell bottoms. So I'm actually going to be doing a design today that's going to be pairing with one of my most popular bell bottom designs. So I'm going to be adding this shirt to my shop. And then for the boys, they just have a basic crew neck shirt. And these are so incredibly soft. Super thick too. Like when you compare them to her AJ blanks for embroidery are super thick, and they hold up really well for embroidery. I know with sublimation shirts, sometimes they can be super thin, they can be super see-through. I've noticed that when looking at other companies and brands that sell sublimation shirts, they're super thin, and that's one reason why I've hesitated on adding anything sublimated to my shop, just because I've had a hard time finding good quality blanks. So I'm super excited to test these out and add these to my shop because they're just really good quality, and honestly, like, they feel almost just like her embroidery blanks. So I'm excited to test these out. So let me go ahead, insert the footage of me editing my designs. I'm going to show you step by step on how I designed my designs, and then let's get started on making these shirts. Guys, so right here I'm just picking the size of the design I want. So I just picked 8 by 11 because the printer paper or the sublimation paper is at 8.5 by 11 size. So I just basically just dragged and dropped the design that I purchased off Etsy. So I just downloaded it, dragged it, and dropped it. And here I'm just figuring out where I want to place the design on the paper. So typically for my t-shirt designs, for like a size 2T or 3T and below, I usually do my t-shirt like the width of the shirt. between 6 to 7 inches. So I just made the width of this design just a little bit tinier than the actual page, just so it'll look good on the shirt. Right here, I'm picking out the font that I'm going to be using because I am going to be adding a name to this design. So I found my font. I'm going to type in the name that I want. I'm sorry, my dog is like sitting right next to me, so if you hear any weird noises, that's my dog. So I'm just adjusting the size to the name, just so it's a little bit bigger. I think I did it to like 150 font, like 150 for the font size. And then I'm going to change the color. So I took like this little dropper and I wanted the font to match the blue from this little bug. So I just used a little dropper, found a blue that's similar to it, and I just changed the name to that blue color. And I'm going to be adding another design to this sheet just because I still have enough room to add another design. So luckily, this design doesn't take up too much space. So I'm going to add my Sweet One design to this sheet. And before I do that, I have to extract it. And once it's extracted, I can just drag and drop the design. And same for this design. This is going on a size 3T or 2T. I don't know, one of the two. So I just made the design just a little bit tinier. Okay, so now I just went up to the edit part of, or I just went up to edit and clicked edit. And because this is sublimation, you have to mirror the design. So I just pressed transform and I flipped it horizontally, and basically it made the image mirrored. So when I heat press it on, it will be the correct direction. And then for this one, I'm really excited to add this design to my shop. I think this will be a good seller just because my other monster truck shirt is a pretty good seller. So I figured I could add this one to my shop, and I can also add it as a DTF print as well. I do plan on adding a bunch of boy outfits because I don't have any boy outfits in my shop. So I'm going to be spending some time coming up with some cute boy designs and coming up with like a whole matching outfit like I do with girls, but in like a boy version. So I also changed the name too to match the truck because I thought red would look really cute and kind of make it pop a little bit too. So I just use that little dropper button again and match the same color of red. And because this design is going on a 2T, I didn't want to make the design too big. And then I just went to the edit button and pressed transform again and did horizontal flip so it's mirrored. And then I'm going to go ahead and just export this and save it to my desktop. Now I'm going to go ahead and print the designs. I use an Epson 2760 printer, so I made sure to select the correct printer. And then I'm going to make sure that the whole design fits on the page. So I had to go down to, let me see. I had to go down to fit, and I just wanted to shrink the design to fit to page. And now for the printing settings, I'm still learning how to do this, but basically what I do, I just do premium presentation paper matte. And then for the print quality, I just do high. I don't know if that's like the correct settings, but that's what I do. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the other design. Luckily, this one fits already on the page, so I don't have to adjust it. I just need to pick my paper settings and the print quality. And again, I have an Epson ET 2760. I love this sublimation printer. It does everything that I needed to do. I do have it linked down in the description for you guys. This printer is extremely affordable. But the only downfall to this is it only prints up to an 8.5 by 11. So if you want to do bigger shirts, like adult shirts or bigger kid size shirts, This printer might not be the best one for you. You might have to get one that has a bigger printing width or scale. I don't know. But I'm just printing out my designs. These took about maybe like 2 minutes to print out. So not too bad. A lot quicker than DTF printing, that's for sure. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let these finish printing out, and then we can get started to pressing these onto the shirts. Okay, so I have my prints all printed out. I'm going to do this one on one of the crew necks, and then I need to separate this one. The top portion one's going to go on a crew neck, and then the sweet one design is going to go on the ruffle shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and get my heat press going. I'm going to set my heat press to 400 degrees, and I'm going to be heat pressing these for 1 minute or 60 seconds. Now with sublimation, I do believe you need to have a heat press because you want to have the high heat and the pressure and the consistent pressure, because one thing you don't want is ghosting. So it's really important that you have the pressure and the high heat to be able to get your design how you want on the shirt. Okay, so for some additional materials that you'll need is some butcher paper. A lot of people recommend getting the butcher paper from Sam's Club. I just ordered this off Amazon because I don't have a Sam's Club membership, so I ordered this giant roll. It's lasted me for a long time. And then you also need some heat resistant tape. Eventually I want to get tape that's like on a dispenser so it's easier to rip off, I guess. But I just got this. This is just Sizer brand heat resistant tape. I got this at Michael's. So I don't sublimate very often, so I don't have like a big roll. So while this is heating up, I'm going to prep my shirts. So I'm going to take some butcher paper and I'm going to put butcher paper inside of the shirt, because with sublimation it could bleed through the shirt and you don't want that because it can get onto the back of the shirt. It can also get onto your heat press, which you don't want. So I'm going to go ahead, prep my shirts real fast, and then we'll get to heat pressing. Okay, so I got all my pieces cut. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load up my shirt. I'm gonna take one of these pieces and put it on the inside of the shirt. Now for the ruffle bottom shirt, I'm gonna be using the Sweet One design, and I'm gonna go ahead and tear it, which I'm not very good at. So you wanna go ahead and tear it because when you sublimate, if you just leave it as like a square, you can kind of see the outline of the paper, and you don't want that. So by ripping it, that kind of helps prevent that line being noticeable. So very gently. Oh no, I cut part of the S. See guys, I'm not an expert. I don't know why this is so difficult for me. Okay, so there's that. Looks horrible, but we shall see if it works, and we'll see how it looks. So for this one, I use my scissors because I kind of want to test and see for the Hiipoo brand sublimation paper, like how it does versus cutting versus tearing, if there's any type of difference. So we'll test that out. Typically I use A-sub paper for anything to do with sublimation, so using the Hiipoo brand is the first time for me, so we shall see how it turns out. I'm getting my tape all ready because my heat press is still heating up. But I just wanted to kind of talk about sublimation with you guys, because typically for these like type of detailed designs, I would use my DTF printer. But there are some perks to using sublimation. So with sublimation, one, it's a lot cheaper to do a print compared to DTF. So this is way cheaper than a DTF print. So like for example, a sublimation print would cost like $1. A DTF print would cost around like $10 if you were purchasing by the print. So sublimation definitely is a lot cheaper. Converting the printer, because you have to use different printers as well, but converting a sublimation printer is a lot easier and a lot cheaper than converting a DTF printer. So there are some perks. The only downfall to using sublimation is you can only use it on polyester shirts. DTF, you can use them on cotton, polyester, any type of material basically. For price, for like a good starter to be able to do designs like this, sublimation is a good way to get into doing this. or these type of designs. And it's super user-friendly. Like, I don't even know how to use my DTF printer. My husband has to do all the DTF prints for me. But for sublimation, it's so easy to do. Just do my certain settings and then I hit print and it just prints it out for me. So way easier than DTF. So I'm super excited to try these and test these out. Oh, I'm getting so hot right now. This heat press is so hot. It's another downfall to sublimation is your heat press has to be set. So 400 degrees with DTF, it's only around 305 degrees that you have to set it to. So big temperature difference. Another good reason why sublimation is a good option for people who make t-shirts or if they make birthday outfits or just any type of outfits. One, it's quicker than embroidery. Takes me a minute, 2 minutes to print out a design, heat press it for another minute. So about 5 minutes, I would say I could make a shirt and be done, basically. With embroidery, it can take anywhere between 25 minutes to an hour sometimes, depending on the design. And another nice thing about sublimation, or even with DTF printing, is you don't actually have to make a physical product. Like with embroidery, you have to actually do samples, stitch everything out. But with sublimation, if you want to list something online, you don't have to make like an actual mock-up or an actual sample. You literally can take a picture of whatever blank you're using. A lot of times you can find sublimation blanks online and do mock-ups that way, or you can just take a picture of whatever blank you're using, and using Photoshop, PicMonkey, Canva, you can use the PNG design or SVG design, whatever design you're using, and basically just add it to the photo, and then there's your sample. You don't have to spend any money on any materials besides the actual design. But besides that, that's all you have to do is add the image to whatever mock-up design you have and upload it to Etsy. So it's a lot easier to come up with designs and list designs on Etsy or on your website or wherever you're marketing what you sell. It's a lot easier and a lot quicker to do sublimation or DTF printing because you don't have to make an actual product. So I mentioned this in one of my other videos on how I do my samples for my DTF prints. I do the same thing. If you guys want to see a video on how I make my DTF mock-ups or my sublimation mock-ups, please let me know down in the comments below and I can show you guys exactly how to make a mock-up. Super easy. So just let me know down in the comments if you guys would be interested in something like that. So there's just a lot of perks to doing sublimation versus like embroidery. But the nice thing is you can do both. You can do embroidery or sublimation because some people prefer embroidery because they just prefer it, or they may not like embroidery because of like a sensory thing, like they don't like the feel of embroidery on their skin. So sublimation is a good option too. Also, you can sell these shirts a lot cheaper than embroidery. So because you're able to sell these at a cheaper rate or at a cheaper price, you potentially could get more sales because they're more affordable. So that's another thing too. But my heat press is finally heated up, so let's go ahead and let's test these shirts out. Okay, so everything measures up. Now I'm gonna take my heat tape. You wanna use heat tape because with sublimation, there could be ghosting, or it kind of looks like it's like smudged almost. Liz from Coffee Powered Home, she did a really great explanation on what sublimation does and like the process of it. And I thought that was really cool because I didn't know the whole process of this. And she kind of explained how it could smudge. So definitely go check her video out. I totally recommend. All right, so here we go, guys. While this is going, I'm gonna go ahead and get my next shirt ready. And sorry, my craft room is a mess right now. I've been so busy that I just don't have time to clean. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move this one to the side. Having a tape dispenser would be a lot easier than having to cut each little piece one by one. Okay, well that one's going, or it's already done, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this shirt going too. Take this one off the heat press. Ooh, hot. Okay, with this design, I think I kind of did this design a little bit too big for the shirts. but we're just gonna make it work. I'm gonna go ahead and rip this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the paper, and let's see how this one turned out. Hopefully I put enough tape on there so it didn't ghost at all. Okay, so that came out really, really good. I do notice some like little markings, but I think that's from my actual printer and not the paper, or it could be the design as well. So I might have to go in and edit this little SVG or PNG design to get out those little marks. But the color and everything looks really good. So here's an example of some bell bottom, or not bell bottom, but some shorts that I made. You can easily pair that up with some shorts. I don't have any bell bottoms made at the moment, but you can just imagine a cute little outfit. So I really love how these turned out. So cute. All right, let's do this one. This one I'm a little worried about smudging because I don't think I taped it on good enough. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do, guys? I forgot to lint roll. I totally forgot. Okay, now let me move the camera so you guys can actually see. So I do have a little bit of ghosting. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then, I don't know why there's like little specks everywhere. I think that's from either my printer, or it possibly could be the sub paper that I use. I usually don't have this issue with ASUB, I believe it's called. But that came out really good. The colors, love, 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 love the colors. And then also, I don't think you guys can pick, I don't think the camera picks it up, but you can kind of see a line too. And that's what I'm talking about. When you like, if you don't tear it and you just leave it as like a basic square, you'll see like the lining of the paper. Kind of see it. Okay, so let's see how this one turned out. Okay, the name, I only see a little bit of ghosting, and that just could be because I didn't add enough tape. But the colors, perfect, like super vibrant. Love it. And you can see, oh yeah, you can see a little bit of ghosting right there on the number. But I think that came out so stinking cute, and I actually think the size came out perfect. So the printer I have is, the biggest it can go up to is 8.5 by 11. So if you want to do like bigger shirts, you might need like a bigger sublimation printer. Or I know you can split the design and do 2 sheets of paper and just tape it so they're like combined. I also believe Liz has a video on that as well. So I'll make sure and link that video down below, just in case you only have the small printer like I do. You can still do a lot with one of the small printers. You just have to do just a little bit more extra work, but you're still able to get the design you want. But I'm seriously obsessed. Like, this was so easy. So easy and quick to do. Okay guys, well that's it for this video. Again, I am no sublimation expert, but I love AJ Blank's sublimation blanks. I'm super impressed with the thickness, the texture of them. They're so incredibly soft, and the design came out so vibrant. And with the Hiipoo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but not too bad for sublimation paper. I usually typically use ASUB. I honestly didn't see like a big difference between the two. I kind of want to do a side-by-side comparison because I still have some more AJ Blanks. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would like to see me do a comparison video of the ASUB paper and the Hiipoo paper. I'm kind of curious if there's a big difference. But I have a link down below for you guys if you guys are interested in purchasing some of her sublimation blanks, or if you just want to stick to embroidery, also check that link out too. She has wonderful shirts for embroidery, and if you click down on the link below, I do get a small little commission. So if you are either purchasing AJ blanks for embroidery or for sublimation. So definitely go check the link out below. Go snag yourself some sublimation blanks and get crafty with it. But I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for a work with me and some more tutorials. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.